If y'all haven't subscribed to my channel, well, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit the red button that says subscribe. If you guys are colorblind, then hopefully you can read. Also hit the bell icon to send me all the notifications for this channel. This will help you out with many other videos in the future, or maybe you guys just like me. But please subscribe to the channel, please, please, please. It will help me so much. Anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of the content.
Hey everyone, it's Codexual here with a video that's going to be talking about how to not get hit offline or how to not get DDoS attacked. There's three methods to this video. Before I get into those methods, I first want to say if you keep getting hit offline, stop joining the person's party. Don't ever give out your IP address. That's where the two methods I'm going to show you, because your IP is still going to be publicly known. So if you were in an Xbox Live party, PlayStation 4 party, or even if you're a business person, whatever the circumstances are, don't connect to a service where someone else is going to connect to you to pull your IP address. If that same person keeps connecting to you, then that's kind of redundant, and why is there a point to this video and why you keep trying to change your IP? Have some common sense. Anyways, I have an illustration here for you guys, and I'm going to be talking about the three methods. So let me go ahead and minimize my ugly face. I'll put myself at the very top, and let's drag over this photo. So this is your basic layout, right? So here's your modem, DSL or cable or even fiber, and y'all may have one device, so it's a modem and a router combined. Some of you have two devices, so this is your modem right there, and that's your router right there. So we're going to first talk about for the people who have a modem and a router, one internet network device, box, whatever you want to call it, as a modem and a router. For the people who have just one box, one device, essentially this is very simple for you. All you got to do is unplug the power, plug it right back in. Now, how can you say it's that simple? Most internet service providers, or ISPs, every customer has a dynamic IP. A dynamic IP means every time you power cycle your modem router, it will change your IP address. So how do you know what your IP address is? Well, all you gotta do is go to ipchicken.com, and before you even power cycle your modem router, see what your IP address is, then power cycle. Then once your internet's back up and running, refresh the page, and if the numbers change, then obviously that is a dynamic IP address. If the IP address hasn't changed whatsoever, then it's more of a good chance that you have a static IP. Static means it never changes. So two ways you can do this. Unplug it, leave it unplugged for longer than 10 to 30 minutes, somewhere in between, plug it back in, and if it still hasn't changed, go ahead and call up your internet service provider and say, hey, I have a static IP, this is the problem, I keep getting cut off line from an attacker who's hitting me offline, I'm getting DOSed. Can you please change my IP address? And they'll go ahead and release and give you a new IP. That's it. Unless if you purchased for a static IP address, then that's a whole different story, and I'm not going to get into that. So that's the first step, first method, I should say, for all you singular device internet people who just have a modem and a router, a combination of one device. For the people who have a modem and a router, so you have two devices. So you have a modem that's hooked up to your wall via a phone jack, a coax cable, or even a fiber cable. This will apply to you. Well, applies for everyone who has those two. Anyways, for the people who have two devices, you have that modem that's hooked up to the wall, then you have that router that's hooked up to your modem. then you have, you know, your Xbox, your PS4, your computer connected towards that router. So this is where you're going to have to do a little bit of configuration on your end. So I have 3 illustrations. 2 of them are common, 1 of them not so common. For all you Netgear users, Linksys users, even D-Link, TP-Link, there's so many manufacturers. I'm just going to do the common ones, but this still applies under the same boat that you're in. So let's say you have a Netgear, right? And how do you get to your Netgear page or your Linksys page, your router page? All you gotta do is flip the modem upside down. There should be a sticker. It'll say 192.168.0.1 or 1.1, 2.1, something among that. If it doesn't show that sticker or any of that information, open up command prompt onto your computer. And I just type in CMD, then there's command prompt. Then a black box will appear. Inside that black box, you want to type in IPCONFIG, ipconfig. Go ahead and hit enter. Now, make sure that your device is connected to the router, even if you don't have internet. But it's definitely connected to the router, either with an Ethernet cable or it's connected to Wi-Fi. So right there, Ethernet cable. Or Ethernet adapter Ethernet. Basically, you're looking for your default gateway, and mine says 192.168.1.1. Yours might say different, 2.1. It might also say 10.0.0.1. Whatever the numbers are, go ahead, copy that down, and paste that into your internet browser. You know, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari, Opera, whoever still uses Opera. Next thing is, once you type in your router's IP address, the page will appear. And again, this still applies to all your Netgear users, Linksys users, whatever router you have. This still applies to you. I'm just showing you the different illustrations. Because, yeah, once you look for the MAC address, the router MAC address, it will say MAC address or clone MAC address. That's the one that you want to be looking for. So right here we have with Netgear, it says use this MAC address. You want to go ahead and hit the third option, and right here it already has everything pre-filled right there. So I already have an example. So yours could show different. It can show BA. It can show different. So whatever this MAC address is, all you want to do is change one digit or one letter. It has to be A through F or 0 through 9. Anything after F, like G, H, you're gonna have a tough time. So A through F, 0 through 9, and all you have to do is just change one character, just one. You don't have to change the whole damn thing, just one. So instead of A, I want E. Instead of B, I can have A. Again, I changed 2. You only have to change 1. You don't have to change a letter. You can also change a number. Right here it shows 2 digits, right? You don't necessarily have to have 2 digits. You can replace that with E and 3, or you can just change that with another number. So it was 03, we're going to do 43. So I think I've made my a point very clear. You can change one, unless if you want to change the whole thing, then by all means go for it. Make sure you also keep a backup. So write the before you even change it, just in case if it doesn't work, because there's going to be some of you who's like, oh, well, my IP, it won't even connect to the internet. Well, have you chose A through F, 0 through 9? If anything, if you choose G or put in G in there, you're going to have a bad time. Anything after F, you're going to have a bad time. So the same all you got to do is hit apply. So you're going to unplug your router, then you're going to unplug your modem. So let this router saves its configuration changes. So go ahead and plug in your router first. The router, not the modem. Plug in the router first. Give it about 60 seconds. Then go ahead and plug your modem in. Give it about 60 seconds. Then go back to your IP chicken and go ahead and hit the refresh. And if it shows different numbers, awesome. That means you change your IP address. That means don't join that person's party, whoever's hosting it. Don't join that gaming server, whoever's admin of it or whatnot. And don't, if you're a business person, well, I don't know how you're getting hit offline on a business end. You must really pissed off one of your employees. But anyways, so we're going to go ahead and go towards our Linksys for all you Linksys users, right? Again, put in your router's IP address. This will pop up and it'll say MAC address clone. Go ahead and click on that. Then it defaults. It's already disabled. You can go ahead and click clone my PC's MAC. It'll automatically pre-fill that in, and all you got to do is just change a single digit or a single letter, A through F or 0 through 9. Then go ahead and save the settings, unplug the router, unplug the modem, plug the router back in first, then the modem. So your IP will change. Now if your IP still doesn't change and you've done this multiple times, then there's a good chance your ISP, your internet service provider, has gave you a static IP. I know with my cable modem, so I have a cable modem, a modem and a router, one device, but I also have another router that's bridging off of it, just because I can have a hardwire connection in my room. I hate Wi-Fi, can't stand it. That's another discussion from now. With my cable modem, I can't simply unplug it and plug it back in. I actually have to call up my ISP, say, hey, change my IP address, and they'll go ahead and do so. So it's a pain in the ass, but it works. Unless if you put that cable modem in my particular shoes, you can put it in bridge mode. Even a DSL connection can go into a bridge mode. Then you got to have that router. Then you got to make the modifications on the router. That's a different story, different video from the future. You put it in bridge mode, then you can go to the MAC address and change it. I have a modded router. So right here is my modded router. It's the manufacturer's D-Link, but it's been modified. All I got to do is the same concept. I log in, I set it up, then I MAC address clone, right? Then go ahead and hit enable, then change the MAC address. That simple. Then save, unplug the router, then unplug the cable modem or the DSL modem, then plug the router back in first, then the modem. So that's the second method. The third method is a VPN, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this, and this is going to be a little bit more complex for you guys. A VPN is a virtual private network. That means I'm connecting to another services that masks my IP. I'm still going to have the same IP address unless if I change the IP address on my end, but as for that VPN, that IP address is always going to remain the same unless the administrators of the VPN changes that IP address. But there's VPNs out there that are DDoS protected. That means I can still game or I can still do office stuff. And someone along the lines, whoever is going to hit me offline, ain't going to hit me offline. Because through that VPN, through their network, they have firewalls, bridge taps, their aggregator, which is a huge server. They have scripts installed. there's so much stuff to talk about. Basically, it's DDoS protected, and I'm still going on about my day, and this person's like really stressing out on the keyboard and like, why aren't you offline yet? Well, because I'm connected to a VPN. So if you're a gamer, right, and a lot of gamers get really pissed off, especially if you're a console player and you're getting hit offline, there is a solution. Before I talk about the VPN and how to do this, so you change your IP address, and there's someone always different, or you have a stalker who keeps hitting you offline, right? And you don't know how he keeps getting your IP address, even after you change your IP address so many times. Then I would strongly recommend getting a VPN. I strongly would recommend it if you get hit offline on a regular basis. So, again, this is a little bit more technical, with all you PS4 players and future generation consoles, or Xbox One players, whatever your console is, you want to have your console not connected to that router, but the computer is connected to the router. So the console is not connected to the router, but the computer is connected to the router. But your console needs to be connected to your computer. So you got to have a certain Ethernet cord, and it needs to be a Cat 5e or above. It can be a Cat 6 or even a Cat 7. Cat is short for category. And how can you find out what type of Ethernet cable you have? Well, look on the wire. It will say it. It'll say Cat.5e, or it'll even say Cat 5e. If it just says Cat 5e and period, that's the correct Ethernet cable that you need to use. Or if it even says Cat 6, Cat 7, and some in the later future, Cat 8, Cat 9, Cat 10, Cat Infinity, this will still work. It just at least needs to be a Cat 5e. If it's a Cat 5, this cable is not going to work. So, basically, for the VPN, which I'm currently connected to, my VPN right here, if you're on a Windows 10, this will definitely apply for you. Let me go ahead and disable my logo so y'all can see. There we go. Okay. So, you're connected to the VPN. Before we continue on, I'm going to make another video for how to set up a VPN. How to set one up. It's fairly simple. You just got to have a brain. So, I'm already connected to my VPN. And you already have your Ethernet, your Cat 5e Ethernet cable. Your computer must have two network cards. So basically, if you have a laptop, right, which most of you kids will, so your Wi-Fi card is considered as a network card. And there's also, you can plug in an Ethernet cable. So that's two network cards. If you have, if your computer can have two Ethernet cables plugged into it, plugged into the modem, the router modem, and the other Ethernet cable connected from your console towards the computer, that will work. And for some god reason you have two Wi-Fi cards but no Ethernet cable, Ethernet connection, then you're gonna have a bad time. This definitely requires the Xbox or PlayStation to be connected, to be physically connected to that computer. And the computer can be physically connected to the router, or it can be wirelessly connected to the router. If that makes sense. Now, so got my screen fixed. Let's go ahead and continue on. On the bottom right, it will show that monitor icon, but I am now connected towards my Wi-Fi. I had to do a little bit of a setup here on my end. I'm going to go ahead and right-click on that, and it'll say Open Network and Sharing Center. Now this will pop up. Next thing what you want to do is click on change adapter settings, and this will pop up. So right now this is my VPN. That's the Wi-Fi that I'm connected, and also I have my Xbox turned on, and I have that hardwire going into my computer, then from my computer into the modem router. So there's two ways to do this. You can simply click on the Wi-Fi wherever you're getting your internet from. If you have two Ethernet cards, then go ahead and click on the Ethernet one. But I'm on Wi-Fi, so you want to right click on Wi-Fi, go to properties, go to sharing, hit this check box here, and hit Ethernet. I usually have trouble with that, so I'm not going to do that. I have more promising results if I do it this way. You get your Wi-Fi and your Ethernet, that's the Xbox that's currently connected to. Right click on that, click on Bridge Connections, and basically it's combining the whole network. So after this identifies everything and whatnot, if it wants to go through. So right now we are disconnected. It basically disconnected me from the VPN, which I can go ahead and connect back to the VPN. It's slowly getting there. Let's see if I got Google. Just make sure that okay, I still have internet. And still trying to okay, there we go. Now we're connected to the VPN. So that means I can safely refresh the IP and it'll still be the same. Slowly getting there. Okay, awesome. By the way, yeah, that's not my IP. Again, that's the VPN's IP address. Let's go ahead and open up our Xbox. I am on the Xbox. I also have a PS4. This still works for the PS4. So what we want to do is obviously start up your Xbox. I'm in the network settings right now. We're going to test out the network. This will take a moment. And usually you saw the NAT type as strict. Not all VPNs are going to have an open NAT or even a moderate NAT. Some will have strict. So it really depends on the VPN as well. So as this goes through, as everything clears out, I'll be connected to Xbox Live. And there it is. We have internet. We're connected to the VPN. Now to truly find out, let's go ahead and sign in towards our account. And yeah, I have all Xbox Live services. I can go ahead and watch my anime. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm a Raiders fan and I'm a nerd. I can play video games online. I can join a person's party that they're hosting. I can even join a person who's about to hit me offline, and I'm going to piss them off. I can troll them. I can troll them. Control? Troll. Troll, like, lo. Anyways, that's it for the video. It'll create another video of how to connect to the VPN. I am specifically using NordVPN's services, so shout out to them. That's it for the video. If you all want to find out how to get connected to a VPN, once again, I will have a link below for y'all. It's fairly easy. Anyways, guys, give me a thumbs up. I hope this video helps you out. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That helps me out. And for the love of God, please don't message me on Xbox. That's my own personal time. That's me playing video games or me watching my shows. Just join our Discord. The Discord link is down below. Just join it. Join our Discord. That's what we're there for. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and do it in the YouTube video, and I'll answer them there, or join our Discord. Either or. Just don't be bugging me on Xbox. Sorry, it's my free time. Anyways, guys, you take care.